Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back everybody.
Please do subscribe if you haven't to both channels, Evolutionary Energy Arts, where obviously yesterday we were talking again on what happened over in South Korea. Again, we pray for everybody involved, families. It's just a horrible situation that I think people are looking for bigger understanding over.
Definitely. I mean, these times really they are riddled with the desire for spiritual understanding because things are deeper than what they appear.
Yes, and so we released one over there talking about the dark power structure. This just got released, including a photo you see on the cover that the powers that be absolutely hate us having. One that we got from a trip that we were on. And we've talked about multiple times, but it's about hammering in and hammering home what's happening here because, you know, what's happening is, as you see, conditioning the masses. The masses are always conditioned. We are always being conditioned. Always. Every aspect of our lives is constantly being manufactured, tweaked, directed, and we now are starting to see that everything that we talk about is just simply coming one after another to fruition. Here you have the Dutch Minister of Finance, who happens to also be the co-chair of the Global Action Group at the W.E.F. now looking to introduce a law to monitor all transactions over 100 euros. If that doesn't worry you, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, and we had Nancy, basically talking about 600 every single transaction. You know, it's just all coming to pass exactly as said, and it's awakening some people, thankfully.
I know, that's the important part, is some people are taking a look at this information and saying, okay, this really isn't adding up, and they're crossing lines that I'm not okay with, so I want to know what's going on.
Well, the only way it's adding up is if you take that quote-unquote, I don't want to use a certain word to trigger anything, let's just say that very, very out there, or what they would make you think is an out there line of thinking, but in reality, every single thing is just, you know, check the box next to where are we now? You have your checklist for the apocalypse. Okay, well, you could check another box off, right?
Yes, indeed.
We're checking boxes off left and right, and the looks on their faces tell you, I think we're being caught out. You know, are they going to buy this? You know, we're selling a lemon here. Is humanity going to buy it?
Yeah, I know. She's looking like, do I just keep going?
Do I just keep going, or do we head for the hills now? Elon, fire up a few more rockets. We got to get out of here.
Yes, hurry.
Wheat prices jump after Russia exit. Grain deal. UN races to saving agreement. Yeah, everything, so much of what we see is just an illusion, and we're starting to wake up to that. So when you talk about, oh my God, the UN's racing, you get all these pictures in your mind of the bureaucrats going and, oh, they're grabbing their briefcases, they're running to try to, we gotta stop this. No. They're all like, okay, check. This is done, check. That's done, check. Inflation is in the target rate, check. Everything is just, it's going on the way it was planned to go. The EU has frozen 17 billion euros from Russian oligarchs and other entities. And we remember when the ruble was rubbish, and yet the ruble is stronger. BRICS is growing. NATO is disintegrating. This is exactly what was planned. And we've been talking about this since 2017 when we first started the first channel. Because it's very, very predictable. They have done this before. Now, yes, most people have no understanding of the level of technology that we've had in the past, and then it's all gone. Just gone. What happened? Is it a natural cycle? There are natural cycles, but this is not a natural cycle that we see going on. There are natural cycles. But what we're talking about is completely unnatural. Everything about this is unnatural. They want you to think it's natural, but it's not. It's unnatural. And really, when you get down to it, what is the biggest thing going on here? Well, it's the desire to create something new out of the natural and the unnatural. That's really what it is in a nutshell. Most Americans think the U.S. is out of control, and a lot of their numbers just don't make any sense when you get down to it. This is a survey. Okay, well, the survey that they're going to give so much credence to, it only surveyed 2,119 registered voters. Took place between October 26th and 28th. 2,119 people out of almost 8 billion people on the globe. And 333 legally here citizens. So you could add in another 10, 20, or 30 million illegally here in the U.S. So really, what's this survey going to say? It's only 2,000. It could have been such a hand-picked 2,000 anyway, any direction you want to get. But even when you look at their numbers that they're putting out here, and this is from RT, but again, it's quoting a CBS News. And then you get the people that think, "Oh, you're quoting RT, you can't trust them." Well, it's CBS News. Well, we can't trust them either. We can't trust anything, but you got to use your intuition. Develop your intuition. Learn how to think for yourselves. Now, I understand this is going up on EEARTS. So often lately we get 100% likes, which means they're not allowing anybody that's not in the regular loop that's going to look for the video to see the video. This is, again, how you control things. You could control surveys. You could control opinion polls. We live in one big Roman Colosseum where it doesn't matter if the people are cheering or booing. They're going to do what they want to do, and they're going to thumbs up or thumbs down humanity depending on what they want to do. If you guys remember your history and all that with the battles of the gladiators, so much for entertainment for the E-lights. I was thinking about calling them E and then putting a parentheses, VIL, another parentheses, lights.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that would work. Almost 8 out of 10 Americans believe the government has lost control of the situation as the country heads into next month's midterm elections. Apparently led by somebody that's so senile he can't find his way to a bathroom, can't unzip his own pants, can't put on his own Depends. And yet we're supposed to believe he's the one that got so many, come on, record turnout, record votes. It's laughable. It's laughable as people wake up and understand, if it wasn't so painful, it would be hysterical.
It would be, and this is the time where, gosh, so many people are upholding this system that is so broken. It's like they don't care how broken it seems. I need to go have my vote. I need to go vote. But we're not seeing that that's not getting any better. When something is that broken, whether you vote or not, really, if you do vote, you're holding up that system. And I understand that really goes against a lot of what other people believe and what other people think. But this system is just, why are we continuing to support this? Why? Ask yourself. Go deep. Who? Look at the evidence in front of you and ask yourself, is it helping? Is this working? Is this working?
Yeah, and again, we have to really discern, so, those that say we could tweak the system from within, we're not in agreement with. And this disagreement goes on to very, very high places, as we'll talk about in upcoming videos. And so almost 80% things are out of control. 21% disagree. Only 21% say no, it's not totally out of control. 73% of likely voters see things going somewhat or very badly in America. Only 26% express optimism. So this next number doesn't really seem to make sense. 56% of Americans disapprove of the job 46s do, and 44% have a positive view of his performance. How could 44% have a positive view of his performance when 79% say things are out of control. That's a little bit, doesn't that seem like it's contradictory that the number as far as approval should be also down in the 20s? You would think, right? But of course, people get so blinded by the left-right paradigm too. They can't admit it when they made mistakes by going and what, they gave that check mark to, and literally what they gave that check mark to, because what did you give that check mark to? And again, I recognize that most of the people, 99.99% that are going to watch this, you understand everything that we're saying perfectly clear. It's just a random person that maybe is allowed to see a video from us for the first time that might be like, wow. And we had one person make a comment this morning over on Evolutionary, said they were devoutly in the system as a Christian for 50 years, and their paradigm is shot now and shifted. And, again, that's what we're trying to do, because what really is a Christian? Today's modern Christian is a good sheeple in many ways. If you really look at the history of things, it's not somebody that's questioning. It's somebody that's taking exactly what you're being told and not questioning it when we must question it. And there was a really good comment by one of our regular people that said, that Yeshua, don't you know, he said that when the religious leaders of the day came up to him, and he said to them, your God's not my God. So there again, anything, you have to look deeper. You have to look deeper. Again, the God of this world is not a natural thing per se. It's something that is adversarial to humanity and adversarial to everything natural. And we could see how it hates life, and it is so anti-life. As we see British support for new sanctions on Russia drop to 41%, as energy bills grow, if energy bills grow, as they grow, it's all growing and doubling so fast, it's staggering. This is why you have people out in the streets protesting. Let's get out of NATO. This is all about the destruction of NATO. And again, I've done videos going back to, I think, 2018, I think it was January of 2018, talking about the, these certain numbers that show it's only NATO countries that lose massive amounts of the population. Only NATO countries and those aligned with NATO. Now we're starting to understand. So many people are starting to understand. Resistance, yes, it's not futile. Again, we could stop, we could change things. They want you to believe that suffering, hellfire is coming for you if you disagree with them, because it's not source, it's not the creator of this universe. And again, if you buy into their system, you're giving them power. Yet we have to say and show what's happening, because, has not the plague upon the land happened? For those that want to stick their head in the sand and say, la 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 la, nothing's happening around me, my world is perfect, I don't see any suffering, so no suffering is happening. No, that doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Perhaps you could shift your entire paradigm and you might find yourself out of the system. But if you're here as a starseed light worker per se, or any way you want to view it, if you're here as a systems buster, then, we must expose what's going on, the reality of what's going on. And, sometimes that means we got to get a little bit dirty in showing exactly how everybody is being manipulated. So when we talk about the real Yeshua, his message was one of empowerment. It wasn't, hey, guys, just hang out for 2,000 years. I'll be back. I'll solve everything then. No, it wasn't that, And again, how could he say greater things you will do if he is the only one that's connected to Source God, creator of this universe? If he's the only one, that's an impossibility. It's an impossibility. There's so many contradictions and holes in their story. It doesn't take years of study. if we're not going to allow ourselves to become biased by the system. But again, the system rewards those that fall in line. Fall in line, even when that line leads off a cliff.
You know, Mike is so right when he speaks about having to get your hands dirty. If you are a light worker here, a system buster here, it's not going to be easy. We didn't come in for an easy job, and many light workers have been hit with things that are very difficult for the soul to comprehend, honestly, very difficult. And many light workers find themselves kind of emotionally bunched up, if not frozen, having an understanding of what they're really here to do now. But it does take courage, and one of the things that we can do to help ourselves get out of that emotional crisis is to start healing the wounds that have been created from such a small age. That emotional healing is going to be what allows you to stand up to this system. It's going to be what allows you to see everything for what it is. You know, those who are looking at the system and still rooting for one side or the other, they are a spoke in the wheel that keeps this wheel turning of this decrepit system. I mean, it's a horrible system. It's not working. I don't want to be a spoke in the wheel. If anything, I'll get in the wheel and I'll help collapse it. That's what I came here to do. But also at the same time, support those who want to see a change. And everyone's path is slightly different because we have to come at this from many different angles, bringing in the light from many different perspectives. And as the light comes in, people see the truth for what it is, for what it truly is, and they're able to connect to their guides, their higher self, and find direction and finally find their footing in this world.
So U.S. to deploy incapable bombers to Australia. They want to build a new hub in Australia to keep the bombers and military over there. Australia won't last long when the when the war breaks out. It'll be taken over pretty quickly by China, and their timeline is 2026, and that's going to be a little too late. But they understand all this. They understand everything that is going by. And when you think about it, this is our blood, sweat, and tears. This is our work. As everybody here is you're having taxes taken from you. Your taxes are your time, your effort, and what are they doing with that? They're just using that to cause more death, chaos, and destruction. They use our efforts against us when the solution is the system itself just being moved out of place. And it doesn't have to be more conflict. It just has to be making them irrelevant. And zombie pigeons now walking in the UK with an infection leaves them with twisted necks going in circles. It's really rather sad to see. These poor little guys struggling. And it's just, again, it's a canary in the coal mine. It's a canary in the coal mine with everything that we see underway. Now, many people are looking to Elon for solutions. Is Elon going to save us? Is any billionaire going to save us? No, because they're invested in the system. That's how they became billionaires in the first place. Now, listen carefully to the words. Listen carefully to the words. Again, humanity has a savior system in place. And this savior system is all about getting people to look outside of themselves instead of looking within. That's what the whole point is. Keep looking, keep waiting. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oops, it didn't come.
Sorry.
I think there's going to be a lot of breakthroughs on the medical front, particularly around synthetic mRNA. Although you can basically do anything with synthetic RNA, DNA. It's like a computer program. So, I think with enough, with effort that's not too crazy, you could probably stop aging, reverse it if you want. You can basically do it. You can turn someone into a freaking butterfly if you want with the right DNA sequence.
That says it all. Again, now when it's time to stop beating humanity with the whip, then they're going to offer, the sugar. They're going to offer the sweets, the carrot, etc. And that's going to be this. You know, you can be like Madonna. You could be like Cher. You could be like all these stars that stop aging, but somehow they don't look human anymore. And there's reasons for that. And it's not just, you know, that their plastic surgery is going awry. It's because they're not anymore. And again, it is, so to speak, selling your soul to the devil, literally, in the most truest sense that we haven't really understood. And many people still don't understand. Renee Wesgren, or Wegsgren, I think that's how you would say that, is the leader of President Biden's new research and agency, Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health. Does that not sound a little bit like DARPA? Well, again, this is all tied in together. And when I first looked at her and looked into her eyes, you could see she's already, and you know, many of you might get this, but she already is part of the merger that's going on. There is a merger. Again, you could look and listen and feel for yourself. Learn how to feel deeper. There's a merger underway. This is about engineering gene safety. We'll stop screwing around with the programming given to us by the programmer of the universe. Yeah, it's integration, again, ultimately. Integration of the artificial with the natural, whether we want to call it artificial intelligence, AI, all the nanotech that's going on. This integration is the goal. That's it, you know, bottom line. And it's not so much all the other things you hear out there. Sure, there's many layers to this, so many different layers to this. And it's like as we keep awakening, then you discover one new layer. And this battle, this disagreement, now there is, and we'll get into a lot more details in upcoming videos, there is a sort of natural artificial intelligence that is used, so to speak. And that's probably not a good term to use, or we could view it as there is an artificial intelligence that is controlled and used in a benevolent manner. And then there is a very, very malignant artificial intelligence. The malignant is the one that we see at play on this planet.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. That's the one. You know, the word I think we're looking for is parasitic. The energies that have taken over are very parasitic in nature. They need life, but they don't appreciate life. But they need life to have their own life. And guess what? We're the host. We are the host. I think that's the most important part to realize. We're being used. And what do we need to do from this standpoint to stop being used as a host? Well, we need to get away from the parasites. Not easy. It's very easy to say, not so easy to do, but it is doable. We all need to work together a little bit more and be together, work with one another, have compassion for our fellow light workers, because we've all been through some major trauma in a deliberate way to hinder us from doing our job. But when you're dealing with entities like this, of course they're going to have some kind of pushback. Of course they're going to have some method modality. But we have the power of the light. The light source is coming in and helping us become brighter than that shadow.
So if you're looking to Elon to save you, who is Elon really? Well, this is his lineage. This is who his lineage is. And it's the Igigi. And the ones, again, that rebelled against the Anunnaki, their Anunnaki overlords. And then, well, what happened? Well, you know, humanity was hijacked to become the new slaves on the planet. So Elon is, you know, basically tied DNA-wise, lineage-wise, with the Igigi. Now, the Igigi have been here, and there were 3 of them alive until recent years. Now there's just one on life support, basically. And, you know, again, doesn't mean the power structure's dissolved. It's just they can't handle the energies coming in from the cosmos and from the sun. And so it's making it very, very tough to maintain themselves here on the planet as we are going to thrive. And if this power structure was not in place, we would be thriving now. You would find peace breaking out everywhere. You would find humanity coming to all new understandings. Again, if you want to avert World War III and all these plagues and calamities that are still lined up waiting for their little boxes to be checked, it's one simple thing that has to change, and that's the power structure. And so we don't change the power structure by beating up on each other. Quite the opposite. We change the power structure by loving each other and understanding each other.
Mm-hmm. You know, finding each other as a safe place to converse, you know, helping each other with our emotions, getting through this system, but definitely not becoming a supporter of the power structure. Finding a new way of doing, a new way of understanding, realizing that the world around you is in constant conversation with one another. And the trees, the grass, the animals, everything is in constant communication. And that's something that's been broken away from us. And you know, if you look at a herd of animals, and if they want to do something to a cow, they usually cut the cow from the herd, and then they're able to take it away and do what they want to. Well, we've been cut from our herd. We've been cut from consciousness and taken away and pulled away from that ability to converse with everything that's around us. So we simply need to realize that and reunite.
Absolutely. So I hope you guys found this interesting. Please do join us over on Patreon or on Ko-Fi. If you are so inclined, Ko-Fi, you can do one-time donation, or you can do monthly as well, and just by simply changing the numbers of coffees. We do appreciate it. It helps us to keep afloat, and also on Patreon as well. Much love, guys. May you be blessed by the true creator of this universe and Yeshua, who is a benevolent, beautiful being that truly, truly wants humanity to stay organic. Namaste.
Namaste.